Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I have you signed into Zoom 2 times. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did you have a different computer or something?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to just remove the other one. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna just try to leave it. I don't know what happens if I do that. If I do that to my university students, they can't come back, so it's fine. But if you hear a beep, that's just Zoom telling me that Alice is waiting. Alice is waiting. So, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. You did have school today, right? A couple more days of school?
Tomorrow is the last day of school.
And what have you been studying hard this week, or is it sort of a bit relaxing at school?
I didn't study this week.
So what do you do? Watch movies or do crafts, or what do you do?
I play video games.
Really, at school?
At home and at school, we watch movies.
Oh, funny. Okay. It's very interesting to me. Like I'm curious why they don't just do your test this week and then you're finished. Seems silly to have. Anyway, I'm glad you're having fun. And tomorrow's the last day. Is tomorrow something special at school?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. You're not having like a party or something. Okay, let me first show you homework. Where's your homework? I didn't go over your homework with you last week. So this is this week's. There's no problem with it. Okay, that's your questions and answers. Actually, I corrected this and it's not showing up as corrected. 1 minute, please. Let's go over here. Strange, it didn't keep the correction. No big deal, but and I will do it again, but it's just, how does Joseph make a difference? Okay, because he's one person. Do is for more than one person. And then in the answer, he helps build schools and helps create scholarships. We're going to actually look at that in a minute in today's lesson. And then back to this. Okay, can you see your homework on the screen clearly, or is it small? Okay, so here it's not a big deal, but when you're writing a sentence, if you use the word, I'm going to give them to you all. Yeah, but shouldn't usually be the first word in a sentence. Okay, so you can simply do comma and then small b but. Okay.
Okay.
There is a list of words that I'm going to, can I write it here right now? Yeah. Sorry. All of the words here, okay, shouldn't usually be the first word in a sentence. Okay. So all you have to do is, like I showed you here, is instead of making a capital B, just comma and then but, or comma then and. Okay, all of those words shouldn't be the first word. And then in the next part, I didn't know what identity, so you're writing in the past tense, right? I didn't know. So now the whole sentence has to be past tense. So I didn't know what identity meant, past tense.
Okay.
Okay. And he likes to tell stories at school. He is an underachiever. Some of the things didn't correct. Oh, I wrote the sentence under. Can you see it in black there? He was an underachiever. He is an overachiever. And then number 5, same thing. You can't say if it's before he felt he couldn't do anything, past tense. Okay. So just remember your tenses. Is it the past? Is it the present? Or is it the future? And the whole sentence has to use the same tense. Okay. Okay, let me stop sharing. Do you have any questions, Alice?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Okay, so this I'll put in, do you have this printed out already? You don't need it. I'm just wondering, you don't have to have it, but I can send it to you if you need to. But this is what I was just talking about, the grammar rules. And it's on page 67, if you have it in the book. But just like I said with the S's at the end, okay? So verbs that are in the present, we use S at the end of an action verb if the subject is he, she, or it. Okay, so for example, does, like in your homework, reads. But do not use S for I, you, we, and they. Okay, so the words slide off his brain. They slide off his brain. We use am if you're saying using I am a fan of Hank Zipzer. Use is for he, she, and it. So he is a funny character. And use are for you, we, and they. The books are in the library. Okay, so if you see an S or they are in the library. So that's just if you need it in the future. And then this part here, page 68, do you have the, in the textbook, is it the same page numbers as on the screen? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna, for homework this week, not right now, but I'm gonna have you write a personal narrative. So tell about a time when someone in your school helped you or when you helped someone. And then don't worry about the last part. Okay, so that's all we have to do. On the next page in your textbook, you don't have to do it, but on page 69, this can help you start with your writing. If you need it, you can use it, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All righty. So we're done with this part. This is all just about the writing. So we're going to go on to a new part. It's a different topic called nature's balance. Okay, so let me just change this picture. Can you see the picture on the screen right now?
Yes.
What do you see?
I see 2 polar bears and a lot of trash.
Good. Do you think that's normally or how the polar bear's environment should be?
No.
No. So that's what we're basically talking about. If you talk about nature's balance, it's more about the big question, what happens when it loses its balance? Okay, so usually if nature's out of balance, like in this picture, it should just all be snow. Okay, but there's a lot of garbage there and there's no snow in this picture, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a problem?
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you think that's going to be a problem?
Because the polar bears need ice and a cold place.
Yes. I'm just writing down your answer here. This book doesn't let me write, so I'll put it in there later. Okay, very good. Okay, so let me make this a bit bigger here so we can read. The language frames, this is what they, when they say language frames, this is what they want us to concentrate on. So we're looking at WH questions, who, what, where, and then the sentence, the is The sky is blue, for example. Okay. Okay, so how about you read, I'm gonna read the girl and you read the boy just because there's more to read. Nice garden. Who's your gardener?
My mother gardening is her hobby. See that hole near the tulips? It's a gopher hole. Gophers live there.
Good, and a gopher is that little animal. Do you know gopher?
No.
They like dig under the ground, and if there's plants, they'll like pull them from, they'll be under the ground. The flowers are here and they'll like pull them out under and eat them. So gardeners don't really like them very much. What is a gopher?
It's an animal that eats plants. We have too many gophers. Mom set up a trap, but the gophers won't go near.
Good. Where's the trap?
The trap is in the middle of the tulip bed.
Good. I like tulips.
So do the gophers.
Good. Okay, I have to make it a bit smaller so you can see. So there are some of our words here. Could you read them for me, the key words?
Amount. Behavior.
Good.
Increase. Supply.
Good.
Subsidy.
No, you're right. Supply was exactly right. Do you know what behavior means?
No.
Okay, behavior is just how somebody acts, like how you act in school. If you're always running around and loud, your teacher might say that's bad behavior. But if you study hard and work in school, your teacher might say, oh, she has good behavior. So she acts in a good way. Increase and decrease, you know, all right? Do you know? You don't know? Okay, decrease means to go down. And increase means to go up.
Okay.
And then supply?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a look. So it says, what happens when the supply of bird seed increases? So there's lots of bird seed in this bird feeder, right?
Yeah.
How many birds do you see?
I see 7 birds.
Good. Oh yeah, I didn't see that one. I thought it was a leaf. I was like, where do you see it? And then now the bird seed supply has decreased. And what about the birds popular, or what about the number of birds?
2 birds.
Yeah, why do you think that happened?
Because the food is really didn't too much. So they're just 2 birds.
Okay, yeah, there's not enough food for the rest of them. So they left. And that's sort of how supply and demand works, right? If you, in English, if you listen to the news a lot, you'll hear supply and demand, supply and demand. So this may be a difficult question, so don't worry if you don't know the answer. But in Taiwan, do you know if, since COVID, has there been a problem getting things into Taiwan?
What things?
like, for example, the US is having a big problem. Like for a long time, at the beginning of COVID-19, the USA had problems with toilet paper supply. There wasn't enough toilet paper because people got so scared, they would go to the store and buy all the toilet paper. And they couldn't supply enough quickly enough for everyone. And then because of COVID, it's very difficult economics, but recently they haven't been able to get baby formula, like the milk that babies drink. They can't get it because they get it from different countries. So it's the supply is almost gone. Do you know if you've had any problems like that, or you just have no idea?
No.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know either.
This is
Oh
one.
boy, okay. Okay, so we're going to compare and contrast. Do you know what it means, Alice, when you compare two things?
Yes.
Okay, can you just look at the pictures and compare the squirrel and the gopher?
The squirrel eats acorn. The gopher eats roots.
Okay, well, you're not wrong, but what you just did there was contrasting. So when you compare something, you're saying what's the same about them. And then when you contrast them, we're saying what's different about them. So what things are the same about the squirrel and the gopher? I can help you if you want, just let me know.
They're animals.
They're what?
They're animals.
Yes, exactly. That's not silly. That's exactly, they're animals. Yeah, good. Anything else?
No.
In your picture, do they look like they're the same color?
Yeah.
Okay, and then they both have what's covering their skin?
Uh,
Do they have scales or fins or fur or?
fur.
Yes, good. Now, and you already said what's different about them. There's one other thing we can see. Look where the squirrel is, and then look where the gopher is.
The gopher is underground and the squirrel is on the ground.
Good. So this thing that you're seeing here now is called a Venn diagram. And basically, have you ever seen one of these before?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you know then that the things that are the compare that are the same go in the middle, and then the other on the outer circles are the things that are different about them. So it says that both are animals that eat plants and they're both small. And then could you read about the squirrel?
Lives in trees. Eats acorns.
Good. And what about the gopher?
Lives underground. Eats roots.
Good. Okay, let's take a look at some more vocabulary here. Your first word is balance. Could you read the definition for me?
When things are in balance, they are even the two sides of the scales on the balance.
Good. So when a balance is a noun, it's interesting that they've actually used it as a noun and a verb, but they just said it was a noun. Anyway, so when you say the picture is a balance, that's something that you can touch and balance. But when things are in balance, they feel like when nature, if we saw a picture of the polar bears walking around in the snow and you saw a lot of ice, it's in balance. Okay, that's a verb. And then, of course, now we think maybe nature's out of balance in that picture. Okay, your second word is control.
Control. To
Hmm.
control means to make a person or thing do what you want. The boys control where the car goes.
Okay, interact.
Interact. To interact means to act together. The students interact with each other to do a science project.
Yeah, so basically that means more like work together, hopefully cooperate together. Okay, react.
React. When things happen, you usually react to them. The child reacts to the snowballs.
Good. And sorry, did you say something?
No,
Oh, okay. Scarce.
scarce. When something is scarce, it is hard to find or get food in scarce in this store.
Good. Okay, could you read the screen?
Look at the picture. Do you understand what Linda and her cat are doing? Ask yourself questions about what you see. Look more closely at the picture to find the answer.
What do you think they're doing?
They're looking at the flowers, and the girl is pointing, and Linda is pointing at something.
Okay, good. Do you know what she's pointing at? Is that hard to see?
Maybe it's something on the tree.
I think it's supposed to be a squirrel. This is not a very good drawing. Okay, now let's look a little bit more closely. What is Linda wearing on her hands?
She's wearing gloves.
Good. And then what's sitting next to her on the ground?
A cat.
Good. And do you see the red thing that's sitting next to her? Do you know what that is?
It's something that's a bottle has the water in it, and it's used to let flowers have water.
Very good, exactly. And the name of that thing in English is watering can next. So you may not know this. So if she's wearing gloves on her hands and she's got a watering can, in the picture right now, yes, they're just sitting there looking at the squirrel, but what was she doing before the picture? Or what do you think, given that she's got gloves and a watering can?
I think she's watering the flowers.
Good. And when people do work in a garden, like watering or cutting or planting or anything, you can use the word just gardening. So it just means someone's in their garden doing something. Where's your mom? Oh, she's gardening right now. That's the word we use. Okay. So you don't have to use it, but just so you know, gardening. Okay. Okay, we're going to read this story called The Gopher and the Squirrel. Can you see it okay?
Yes.
Oh boy. Sorry. Go ahead.
One day, Squirrel met gopher in a garden. She wasn't sure how to interact with a gopher, so she spoke politely. "Good day," she said. "May I collect the acorns in this garden?" "No, go away," said Gopher. This was a rude way to react to the polite request. But squirrels try again. "You see, the trees didn't get enough friends this year. Nature is but nature is out of balance. Acorns are scarce." "I can't control weather," said Gother, "but I control the garden, and all the acorns are mine."
Mm.
"But you have roots to eat," Squirrel
Protested.
"So what? Acorns are mine too," Gopher replied. The squirrel asked, Is that little worm shed near the fence you too?" "What's the little shed?" asked Gopher. He comes out of his hole and take a look. The shed was just the right side for a gopher. A few carrots were on the floor. Gopher ran inside to get the carrot. Slam! Down fell the cage door. He was trapped. Squirrel laughed. Looks like I'm a control now." Moral: If you are selfish, you might lose everything.
Good. Do you understand what happened?
Yes.
It's a gopher trap. So he was so selfish, so like, oh, I'm gonna get those carrots, and then he got stuck in there. Okay, very good job, my dear. I'll see you again next week, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye. Thank you.